Hey everyone, I am going to be reading a book from the New, a few chapters from the New Testament every day. Feel free to join along. I am reading from my New King James Version. I'm starting with the Gospel according to Matthew, because why not? If you are new to the Bible, welcome. If you are new to Christianity, also welcome. If you're just thinking about it and wanting to read the Bible for the first time, well, awesome. You will always find something important. I've been called to do this, to be very bold in my faith. And, this is also an accountability thing for me, like reading the Bible every day and really immersing myself. And, so just before we start, I wanted to apologize for my mispronunciation. Some of the names, especially in the genealogies, I'm not good with that. I have only read the Bible to myself, so I don't know, and I've really, how often do you hear the genealogies in church? Not often. So, excuse me for mispronouncing some of these names. Yes, we are starting with the Gospel according to Matthew. And just as a little history, he is constantly referring to the Old Testament, so to connect Jesus Christ to the Jewish history, right? So that the Jews can really understand their kinship to Jesus Christ, who has fulfilled the prophecies that they find in their own books, and believe in him and him as Messiah. And even his literary devices are designed to reach the Jewish audience of the time. So just keep that in mind. And if you want to read along with me, feel free. Like I said, I'm using New King James, but I do like the New International Version as well. And they're just a little bit different, but the meaning is the same. So here we go. The Gospel according to Matthew. The book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac begot Jacob. And Jacob begot Judah and his brothers. Judah begot Perez and Zerah by Tamar. Perez begot Hezron, and Hezron begot Ram. Ram begot Amminadab, and Amminadab begot Nahshon. And Nahshon begot Salmon. Salmon begot Boaz by Rahab, and Boaz begot Obed by Ruth, and Obed begot Jesse. And Jesse begot David the king. David the king begot Solomon by her who had been the wife of Uriah. Solomon begot Rehoboam, and Rehoboam begot Abijah. And Abijah begot Asa. Asa begot Jehoshaphat, and Jehoshaphat begot Joram, and Joram begot Uzziah. Uzziah begot Jotham, and Jotham begot Ahaz, and Ahaz begot Hezekiah. Hezekiah begot Manasseh, and Manasseh begot Amon, and Amon begot Josiah. Josiah begot Jeconiah and his brothers about the time they were carried away to Babylon. And after they were brought to Babylon, Jeconiah begot Shealtiel, and Shealtiel begot Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel begot Abiud, and Abiud begot Eliakim, and Eliakim begot Azor. Azor begot Zadok, and Zadok begot Achim, and Achim begot Eliud. Eliud begot Eleazar, and Eleazar begot Mathan, and Mathan begot Jacob. And Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So all the generations from Abraham to David are 14 generations. From David until the captivity in Babylon are 14 generations. And from the captivity in Babylon until the Christ are 14 generations. Now, the birth of Jesus Christ was as follows. After his mother Mary was betrothed to Joseph, before they came together, she was found with child of the Holy Spirit. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, and not wanting to make her a public example, was minded to put her away secretly. But while he thought about these things, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream, saying, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take to you Mary, your wife. For that which is conceived in her is of the Holy Spirit. And she will bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins. So all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the Lord through the prophet, saying, Behold, the virgin shall be with child and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel, which is translated God with us. Then Joseph, being aroused from sleep, did as the angel of the Lord commanded him, and took to him his wife, and did not know her till she had brought forth her firstborn son, and he called his name Jesus. So again, that was Matthew chapter 1. It was the entire chapter, so it's verses 1 through 25, and that is the first chapter of Matthew. So I really think that it's worth reading the Bible. I think it grounds us. It makes us closer to God and each other. It helps us develop that relationship with Jesus Christ, which is the most important thing in our lives. And I hope that you read along with me. So tomorrow I will read chapter 2 from Matthew. And if the chapters are short enough, I will read them in their entirety. But if they are a little bit long, then I will cut them in half, or because sometimes they can be long. The New Testament is not super long in comparison to the entire Bible. So that is something to consider. I hope you will follow along with me, and if you'd like to discuss any of this, please comment or message me. And remember, the Gospel of Matthew in particular, Matthew was a tax collector. He was a Jew. He was one of the apostles. And he understood the need to bring Jesus to the people where they were. And, that's an important thing. It's an important part of even what I do for a living, is I come to you where you are. And so Matthew is bringing the gospel to the Jews where they are, so that they understand, in reference to their history and to their own prophecies. Because like many of us, we don't know. We just kind of follow the rules, and we go to school, we go to work, we do what we're supposed to do, and we go home and we live good enough lives and all of that. And most people are like that. Most people have always been like that. Whereas Matthew is trying to bring those prophecies, by using, the literary device, 14, for example, and numbers. And the genealogy itself is to really link Jesus Christ genealogically to the historical figures in their book, while also fulfilling those prophecies. And you will see that throughout the book of Matthew. So another thing, and I will say this in every gospel, is the absolute beauty of the stepfather. A man who is called to raise another man's child. And in this case, of course, it's God's child. So it is like a little elevated, but it's still socially challenging, right? So this man is being called to marry a woman who has already been pregnant during a time in history where that was Mary could have been stoned to death. And that speaks to, it actually makes me cry a little bit, because it speaks to the character of Joseph. And I think that he's a great example for all men, to be men of God, to listen to God and follow God, just like Mary followed God and said yes, right? But Matthew chose to discuss, Joseph in this particular gospel, and not Mary's acquiescence, but Joseph's. And I think that that's really important within the context of even our lives, today. So anyway, that is my 2 cents. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Remember, it's all about Jesus. None of the rest matters. It's your relationship with Jesus. It doesn't matter you know, what's going on in the world, you know, participate in your life, because that's what we're here to do, but do that with, you know, the armor of God and that relationship with Jesus Christ, so that no matter what happens, you know, we have the quiet joy and comfort that comes from that. So God bless you all and take care. And I will see you tomorrow for Matthew chapter 2. All right, take care. Bye.